going on, Canada? Spencer Lewis here for another episode of Inside Track TV here at the Inside Track Motorsport News headquarters in beautiful, scenic downtown Toronto. Where do I start? Huge weekend for short track racing in Ontario and Canada, across the country here at the tail end of July. Quite possibly the busiest weekend of racing throughout the 2011 season. Let's start things off at Ohsweken Speedway. Huge double shot midweek shows out at the Res this week. It was on Tuesday night. Sunnyvale, Texas native Sam Havertine Jr. picked up the win in the 360 Sprint Car Show. Tony Stewart was in attendance for what was supposed to be only a one-night-only appearance, but after struggling with the setup in the heat races, he ended up hitting on something to the feature, started 15th and finished 3rd. Stewart then announced that he would stay over and race with the World of Outlaw 410 sprint cars on Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening came, and it was indeed smoke in victory lane when the dust had settled. Took the lead on lap 9 and held off Tour regular Sammy Swindell and hot foot Jason Myers for the win. A phenomenal performance for his first career World of Outlaw sprint car victory. Tony Stewart absolutely packed the place Tuesday and Wednesday, quite possibly the biggest crowd we've ever seen at Ohsweken Speedway. Phenomenal facility. The staff were fantastic. If you have never been out to Ohsweken Speedway, you owe it to yourself as a race fan, much less a dirt fan or an asphalt fan. If you're a fan of cars going fast and a professional environment where you can go and have fun for cheap, that is the place to do it at. Huge car counts, talented racers. They put on a show like no other. Huge shout outs to Glenn Stires. They did a phenomenal job at the double shot this week. Moving on, the Sprint Car Nationals at Ohsweken coming up September 16th and 17th. Tickets are still available. Check them out on their website. You can go ahead and still pick those up. Upwards of 80 plus cars will be in attendance for the Sprint Car Nationals, so make sure you're out there on the 16th and 17th of September. Moving on to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series Tour, Western Swing this week, and they were at Vernon, BC at the Motorsport Speedway, and then out in Saskatoon at Auto Clearing Motor Speedway. Scott Steckley leading the points came in to Vernon and went off with the victory, and then it was Pete Shepard III going to victory lane at Auto Clearing. A last lap highlight reel 5-star pass on defending champion DJ Kennington is what got Shepard to victory lane. Steckley came into the Western Swing with a 97-point lead over Kennington. Unfortunately, the Milverton, Ontario driver, after a successful trip to Motorsport Speedway, got into an early race crash, forced a rad change. The good news is the team got him back out onto the track. The bad news is he lost 30 laps in the process. With Kennington coming home with the runner-up finish to Shepard at Auto Clearing, that means that Steckley's lead is down to 20 points, and we have ourselves a championship battle heating up as we head on down into the stretch. After this week's action, the NCAS Tour gets a well-deserved break as they get ready to hit the road courses in Quebec for a pair of shows on August 7th and the 20th as they get geared up to head over to Trois-Rivières on the 7th and then Circuit Gilles Villeneuve on the 20th in conjunction with the NASCAR Nationwide Series Tour. Back to the ovals here in Ontario, the Sauble Speedway Dash for Cash, the first of 2 Dash for Cashes slated for 2011, was in action last night, and it was a pair of home track drivers that stole the show. Scott McTeer, one of his finest runs in his limited late model rookie campaign, went to victory lane after a phenomenal battle with a pair of Sauble regulars. A late race side-by-side war between Jason Tremble and Jason Parker really stole the show in a battle for 3rd spot, but McTeer ran away with it, had the field covered by almost an entire straightaway when all was said and done. That is win number 2 for the Tiverton, Ontario native. In Thundercar action, it was Smokin' Joe Adams leading every single lap, green to checkered, for his win, his first Dash for Cash win in recent memory. So shout outs to Smokin' Joe Adams. Watch for Adams to come out to Sunset Speedway's Shootout Series Special, the second of the 5-race mini-series on Sunday evening. More on that later. Heading over to the dirt, huge event at Merrittville Speedway out in St. Catharines on Monday evening. The only track running in Ontario Monday evening, 75-lap 358 modified show, 100-lap big block modified A-main, plus the Thunder Socks and the Mod Lights. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be the show of the year. Dirt, asphalt, road courses, ovals. When you talk about bang for your buck and value, this is it right here. Merrittville Speedway. It is going to be phenomenal. Names like Brett the Jet Hearn, the Dr. Danny Johnson, AJ Slideways, Alan Johnson in his first appearance at Merrittville in a couple of seasons. Super Matt Shepard will be there. Niagara on the Lake's own Stuart Friesen will be in the house. Jimmy and Ryan Phelps. I don't have enough time to highlight all the guys that are going to be there. It should be a phenomenal event. Bob St. Amand Memorial. Gates are at 4, hot laps at 6:30. Check out their website, www.merrittvillespeedway.com for more information. Mark my words, though, Spencer Lewis stakes his reputation on this one. Show of the year, Monday evening at Merrittville. Maritime Pro Stock Tour action heading out east. They'll be at the Saturday's Air Show Atlantic 100 at PEI's Ohsweken Speedway. Now, a little bit of history here is Darren McKinnon, after his incredible IWK 250 win at Riverside International Speedway last Saturday night, actually picked up his first career win at Ohsweken Speedway earlier on in the season in June. He comes into the event third in points and is a certifiable favorite to go to victory lane for the second time this season at Oysterbed. Now, the current point leader is Sean Tucker, one of the veterans of the Maritime Pro Stock Tour, but he has a narrow point lead over Wayne Smith in second and the aforementioned McKinnon in third. If you're anywhere near Prince Edward Island and can get to Oysterbed Speedway this weekend, highly recommend that one. It will be a barn burner. Moving on to the OSCAAR Super Late Model Tour back in Ontario. We're all over the map here across Canada this weekend, but OSCAAR, Saturday night, Glenn Watson looking for win number 6 in a row. Go ahead and just let that sink in. 6 wins on the most talented Super Late Model Tour in Canada in a row. He has dominated everywhere. Kawartha, Motorsport, Sauble, and Sunset twice. He is on a tear. Wayne Isaacs has come close a couple of times. Jeff Hanley has announced he will be at Peterborough. Now, he actually made his debut at Motorsport, had some fuel pump issues, and could not come near Glenn Watson. Now, the question is, if Watson can take home his 6th straight win, he is most certainly in contention for his 4th straight championship. When you start talking about one of the greatest super late model drivers of all time, the season that Glenn Watson is having most certainly asserts his name right up there with the likes of Hanley and Biederman when all is said and done. Delaware Speedway in action Friday night. Their 60th anniversary celebration is one of those historical tracks anywhere in Ontario. They'll have a salute to classic racers, a classic car cruise at 7, post time at 8, late models, super stocks. The Canadian Vintage Modifies will make a rare appearance to Delaware, in addition to the Enduro 35-lap challenge. All that jumps off at 8 o'clock. Details on their website, www.delawarespeedway.com. All eyes are on Andrew Gressel. What a season he is having. Has picked up 4 wins and 8 starts so far, including a win at the Great Canadian Race earlier on this season out at Delaware in a very talent-laden late model field. Finally, Sunset Speedway double shot weekend. They'll be in action Saturday night for regular racing with the limited late models, super stocks, and mini stocks, and then Sunday evening, 6 o'clock start time, 75-lap limited late model, 50-lap super stock, 35-lap mini stock. Their second of 5 summer shootout series events brought to you by McCall Racing Enterprises. You're going to see names like Stompin' Tom Walters, Al Inglis, Kevin Cornelius. Jason Parker's already said that he's going to be in the house as far as late models are concerned. With the super stocks, one of the most talented divisions in Ontario at Sunset already. Guys like Jason Elliott, Matt Bentley, Randy Russell, who has 3 straight wins in the super stock division. They'll be joined by Sauble Invaders, Kenny Grube, and Marvelous Marvin Freiberger. You'll likely see some drivers head down from Barrie Speedway. It should be phenomenal. 6 o'clock start time. Again, 75-lap limited late model, 50-lap super stock, 35-lap mini stock. Also, brand new issue, hot off the presses. It's burning my hand right now. New issue on newsstands right now. Details on our website if you haven't already got your subscription, www.insidetracknews.com. First quarter power rankings are in here right now. If you want to tell who the top 10 short track racers in Ontario are, this is where you go to it. Brand new issue on newsstands now. For all of us here at Inside Track, ladies and gentlemen, big weekend coming up. Make sure you get to the track, and we'll be right back here next week to sum all of it up. Details website, www.insidetracknews.com. Thanks very much. My name is Spencer Lewis. We'll see you next week.